Hi everyone, Matthew Robinson. I'm back after a little break to talk to you guys about something that I didn't want to talk about until I understood the situation a little bit more and understood a little bit more about this person. And that is Governor Sarah Palin, who, as you all probably know at this point, is John McCain's vice presidential running nominee. And so at first when she came, I had no idea really who this woman was. A lot of people still don't know who she is. But to give you guys a brief rundown, just in case you don't know, she's the governor of Alaska. She was a mayor before that of a place called Wasilla, Alaska. I believe I'm pronouncing that right. And she also ran the National Guard. So she's a very staunch conservative, very big on the social conservative side, and she's known as a reformer. So before I begin, I want to just say that, again, I'm not a Republican and I'm not a Democrat. I'm an independent, literally registered as an independent. I will say, just to start it off, that I am supporting Barack Obama for president. However, that doesn't mean that I don't see the faults of Barack and that I do not see the faults of McCain. So, first of all, let's begin with the good things about Sarah Palin. I figure I should start on the good things about her. The good thing about her is, one, as a fellow Christian myself, I feel that I really respect her stances on many of these social issues, especially her stance on abortion. That takes a lot of gall to be able to say, hey, think abortion is wrong. Though I do have some problems with this, and I'm going to get back to that in a moment. Another good thing about Sarah Palin is the fact that she is a dedicated mother and wife, and seems like she's an all-around decent person. And she has been known to reform and go against her own party. Now, this, of course, has been exaggerated a little bit for, the purpose of horse race journalism. But still, she is a reformer, and there's something very positive about that she's willing to stand up to her own party. Okay, so I've been watching the Republican National Convention. And before I continue on a little bit more, let me just first say that Joe Lieberman's new name should be Harvey Dent. Joe Lieberman, why I'm on him for speaking at the Republican National Committee is not because he's changed sides. You should not be tied down to a party. There are many Republicans who have gone over to Senator Barack Obama's side. So why should we be angry at him for becoming a Republican? There's nothing wrong with that. My problem with Joe Lieberman is the fact that he, just about 2 years ago, or 1.5 years ago, was praising Barack Obama, saying Barack Obama was the best man for the job. That's when, of course, he needed those Democrats' votes to get reelected. So he's very transparent and very two-faced. That's my problem with him. But moving on, back to Sarah Palin. Sarah Palin, the bad stuff about her now. I'm going to have to say that one thing that I don't like about her is, of course, she's a fiscal conservative, which only caters to pretty much the top 10% of this country. And I have a big problem with that, which for years and years has put down lower income families, white, black, Hispanic, Asian, and it really doesn't help us, especially when the economy is so weak, right, like it is right now. And one thing has to do with her daughter. Now, before you guys start attacking me and saying, oh my goodness, how dare you attack her family, let's also remember the Republicans attacked Michelle Obama a while back. But I'm not even really personally attacking her family. What I'm saying, and I think Jon Stewart also brought this up, I believe, when he was talking to Newt Gingrich, is that she expects us to respect the fact that her daughter was able to choose if she wanted to keep or abort the baby. And she wants to take away women's right, even in the case of rape, to be able to get an abortion. Now, I am against abortions. Even in the case of rape, I'm against it. As a Christian, I believe that birth or life begins at the point of conception. So when you're getting busy in between the sheets and, those little boys hit the egg, life has begun. So I think that aborting it really is infanticide. However, I don't think that you can say, I have made this choice and then now I want to take away your choice. As a woman and as a person, you know what? You should be able to make that choice. That should be between you and God. Another issue I have, and yes, I'm going to bring it up, this proves that abstinence sexual education doesn't work. I'm sorry. And as a Christian, I wish you could just say, don't have sex, and people wouldn't. But it doesn't work like that. People make mistakes, and people make choices. They're growing teenagers, and they've got raging hormones. And you've got to be able to teach them and say, hey, if you do mess up, which might happen, and there's nothing wrong with that, you're human. People are going to make mistakes. If you're going to have sex before marriage, wear a condom, have protection. You know, there's nothing wrong with teaching that as a reasonable practice. And I think this is just proof that no matter how much you drill into your kid's head, just don't have sex, they might have sex. And they need to know the consequences of having sex before marriage, outside of the spiritual world. And so another thing that I really don't like about this whole Sarah Palin thing is that I feel John McCain's really pandering to those disgruntled Hillary supporters, and I think that's a slap to Hillary Clinton and Hillary Clinton's supporters, and spitting in the face of the women and qualified men of the Republican Party. For instance, Mitt Romney, who I thought would have made a great choice for John McCain. And if you wanted to choose a woman, there are plenty of more choices John McCain could have gone with. Instead, he chooses this woman who is, yes, she's inexperienced. And before you guys start jumping on the fact, okay, yes, Barack Obama isn't as experienced, and everyone's always saying, oh yes, but Barack Obama's been running for president ever since he's been in office. Well, if he has been running for president ever since he's been in office, maybe that's a better thing. Maybe that means he's been building up the knowledge he needs to have to run this country in that time. Unlike Sarah Palin, who has just been taking care of Alaska, a state which, I'm sorry to say, doesn't have that many minorities in it. And that's my problem with the Republican Party. The Republican Party caters only to the top 10% of this country, which, sadly enough, isn't really full of a lot of minorities. Now, there's a lot more. I don't want to get too negative about her, but still, she's yet to prove herself to me. Yes, her speech was very well done. It was a very, very, very well done speech, though it was incredibly negative, and she said things that weren't true. And my question is, how come the Democrats feel that they have to keep talking up McCain and say he served this country? Yes, John McCain served this country, and wow, he deserves all the respect in the world for that. But you know what, guys? The Republicans are going to start ripping into the Democrats, and the Democrats have got to start showing some teeth and fighting back. Now, Barack did that a little bit with his acceptance speech on Thursday. An acceptance speech that was viewed by 38 million people. That's more than the Oscars, which I have said on several times were boring due to a couple of factors. And the American Idol season finale, which is incredible. But even then, you know, John McCain's not going to be able to match the Democrats on that viewership. I'd be very surprised. He might, though. I'm not going to say he won't, but it will be hard. So, that being said, I don't really think that, you know, Sarah Palin is the right woman for the job, the right person for the job. I just think that she doesn't really have what I'm looking for in a vice president or in any presidential candidate. And yes, she is a heartbeat away. And yes, you can say all you want that John McCain is more experienced than Barack Obama. Barack Obama doesn't have enough experience to run this country, but really he does. I mean, yes, everyone always says, oh, he has no foreign policy experience. But Barack Obama served on the Foreign Policy Committee, the Senate Foreign Policy Committee, for about, 3 years? So I think he does, or was it 2 years? The point is, he does have some foreign policy experience. And to all those nut jobs who are saying Sarah Palin has foreign policy experience because Alaska's close to Russia, need to really, what the heck? Shut up. What? That doesn't even mean, what does that even mean? Yes, Sarah Palin does have some executive experience with the National Guard, which is controlled by the president. So she really doesn't have national experience. It's like when you put on your resume, when you're applying for a job, that you've been a manager of a business when you ran a lemonade stand kind of thing. You know, because you really weren't in control. It's really your parents running the lemonade stand, but they let you stand out in front and like kind of say like, hey, here's some lemonade. So that's my problem with her. But really, that's all I'm going to say right now on this situation. I'll talk to you guys about it more later. If you want me to, leave comments if you want me to talk more about this and bring up more stuff you want me to talk about. Until next time, this is the DreadHead Chronicles.